Hi.
It's time for Blumpkin and Friends, starring your host, the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
I think they said something about, like, a podcast or whatever. I don't know.
Hey kids, welcome to Blumpkin and Friends. I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin, and with me today is my friend. We will call her Dirty B, which I came up with because it's funny because she's got a dirty mouth. Her name starts with a B. So, boom, there you go. Today's topic is food addiction, which I'm pretty sure I have. Add anything right now.
Like what?
Well, first off, get your fucking mouth closer to the microphone. A little bit closer. A little more.
Why do you have a shit-eating grin on your face?
Make it sexy.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Anyway, so basically, I have a problem with food. Most people might not think so because I'm a relatively slender guy. I also work out 6 days a week like a maniac so that I don't gain a bunch of weight. So I'm kind of skinny fat, if you're familiar with that term, where I carry all my extra weight in my gut. A little paunchy, a little bit of a dad bod. But the rest of me is in decent shape. So it's been a problem most of my life with sweets. Starting when I was a child, and we would have Oreo cookies on hand, and my mom would tell me I could have 3 cookies. And I always tried to sneak more cookies.
Only 3?
That's what, I don't know, that's the benchmark that was set. I never asked her, hey, how come you only would let me have 3 Oreos, fat ass? Because I feel like it would be, no, it's okay to laugh into the microphone. The laughter's not getting edited out. People are going to know this show's funny because people will be laughing in real time. I don't know. And there was always fucking Kool-Aid around. And when I was in preschool, so when I was 3 and 4, every Friday at the end of my preschool week, we'd go to McDonald's. Sometimes twice in the same week, so I'd get a Happy Meal and a toy. Just shove that greasy shit down my gullet. I'll be fine. I've got the metabolism. And I just ate like shit for many years. And then it finally caught up with me when I was like 16 and I was working at Target. And my friend Matt one day walks up. He's like, hey, fatty. And I was like, what? And I looked down and I went, motherfucker, when did that happen? And I had like a gut.
No muffin top?
No, I wasn't that fucking fat.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
You don't need to be super fat to have a muffin top.
Well, I didn't have one, so you're kind of splitting hair. I mean, you might not have to be fat to have one, but skinny jeans weren't popular back in 1998.
True.
I wore Jinkos. It was 1998.
Okay.
Jinkos. So, I immediately got on a 5-day or 6-day-a-week regimen of exercising with this Tybo tape that I bought. And I did it every night before bed. And I just pounded water like crazy. Cut out all refined sugars and fast food. And I dropped 30 pounds in a matter of months. It's fucking crazy. I must have hit like the peak of when my hormones and reactivated my metabolism. So my body's like, oh, we got to get rid of this shit. And I dropped like 6 pant sizes.
And yet your mom still had all that shit in the house.
Yeah, well, I was busier then.
Working at Target.
Yeah. I had to stop going to Food Avenue and getting like fries with nacho cheese on them. You just gagged a little. I saw that. That was funny. Yeah, like I'd slather the fucking fries in nacho cheese. And just eat them and not realize why my skin looked like shit. And you could actually hear me getting fatter. There was a time in my life when I'd go through a half a box of Swiss cake rolls.
In how long?
One sitting.
God.
Yeah.
It's not really different now when you can sit down and eat a 4-pack of blueberry muffins.
Well, that brings me to a point that I wrote down right here. Can you read what that says? No, you don't have your glasses on.
No, I don't.
Read it out loud.
I'm a fucking enabler?
You're a fucking enabler.
No.
Every time it's my birthday or we have a fight about something, you try to...
Oh, no.
You always bring me treats like, I don't want to fight, let's just get over this and be good friends. And then there's fucking muffins show up. And I can't ever eat like one muffin. Most people be like, oh, that was a good muffin. I can't wait to have another one tomorrow. No, I'm like, the first one is gone.
In 2 bites.
And I might take like a breath while I'm eating. And then the second one is in my mouth right away again. It's just a bang bang. And when I get to the third one, I know I should stop. I can't stop. And I don't stop. Just like Puff Daddy in the 1990s. Buddy, shut the fuck up. God damn it. I hope that's still funny to people. So by muffin 3, I take a bite and I just feel like a chubby bitch. I just like, you are so fucking weak. Why are you doing this? You know you shouldn't. And then the third one's either half gone or gone. And then I save the fourth one for the next day.
Or later that night.
No, the next day. So like when I wake up the next morning, which is typically 7 or 8 hours later. It's not just that. Today I stopped at Target to get groceries after work. And I got a bag of those Hostess mini donuts for $2. I'm like, I better not eat this whole bag. Well, it's gone. It did not survive the car trip home. They're bite size. I have a big mouth. It's a deadly combination.
So it's like the McDonald's commercial where the mom is eating the fries and empties half the other fry box because she just can't help it.
Yeah. It's just like, it's funny, but it's also like, it's for real. This is like, not to the point where I need to be on an episode of Intervention, but I totally get like what opiate abusers feel. Like I'll get out of work like, God, that was a shitty day. And where am I 5 minutes later? Sitting in the fucking drive-through of Burger King, and I take the first bite of that burger. They say it's like the same thing as getting high. You get that endorphin. I take a bite. I'm just like, feelings, you are so delicious. I just eat my feelings, and it all goes away. I actually got some legitimate information on food addiction. Physical symptoms of food addiction. Do you think you cannot control your intake of food, especially junk food or high sugar foods? Check. Have you tried different diets or weight loss programs, but none has worked permanently? Yeah, maybe. Buddy, fuck off! Have you found yourself vomiting, using laxatives, diuretics, or exercising a lot to avoid a weight gain after you've eaten a lot? Check on that final point. 6 days a week I work out. But that makes me feel good. And when I feel good, I look good.
But no laxatives.
No, why the fuck would I need laxatives?
I don't know. You shit like 3 times a day.
I don't shit 3 times a day. I usually take one healthy one. One really good one where I sit down and it comes out like fierce and fast because I hold it until I can't hold it anymore. Not to the point where it becomes painful, but it's just like, ah! I usually let out a primal grunt, or I pay tribute to Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter and go, "Sure, you Ken!" You don't get the reference, but it's funny. Fuck off.
I don't.
No. Emotional symptoms of food addiction. Do you find yourself feeling depressed, hopeless, sad, or ashamed about your eating and your weight? Well, big check on the last one, because I am quite ashamed of myself. Especially by that third muffin. And if it's the smaller ones, the 6-packs from Cub, I usually hit rock bottom about halfway through the 4th one. Especially if I have not yet left the parking lot after purchasing them.
Oh, God.
They're so delicious. Do you find yourself eating when you are upset, or reward yourself with food when you do something good? Yes, I eat my feelings, and then I'm like, I had a good day. I'm going to have a pizza. Right. Not, I'm going to get a pizza. I'm going to have a pizza.
Oh, no, I've seen the 4 boxes stacked.
That's because I don't have trash service.
Well, still.
I save them until it's dry enough to go outside and burn them. A Little Caesar's pizza, right out of the gate, par for me is 5 out of those 8 pieces. And the first 3, they're just like, boom, gone over the gums and down my gullet. And I don't have anything to drink when I'm eating it, so I'm just like gang piling cheese and bread and carbs. And then I get home and then I take a big drink. And then I think it slowly catches up, and it's like Roto-Rooter where it gets it going on the digestive scale. Have you ever noticed after eating sugar, flour, or wheat that you become more irritable? Maybe. I'm kind of an asshole all the time anyway. I'm always grumpy, so I'm touche.
That's pretty much all you eat.
That's not true.
You eat that all the time.
I eat sugar and flour and wheat. That's all I eat.
Your pizza, your donuts, your muffins, tortillas.
I put delicious peanut butter on those tortillas because they're
Still
better
has
than
flour.
bread. They're wheat. They're wheat tortillas.
Still not gluten-free.
Social symptoms of food addiction. Fuck gluten-free for hippies. Do you eat in private so no one will see you?
Yes.
Check, checkity check. I eat a lot of shitty food, and when I do it in my car. Specifically in the parking lot of where I buy it. So the evidence is gone immediately. I eat around the corner from the camera at work, so they don't see how much I eat when I'm there. I eat in the bathroom at home sometimes. to avoid sharing food with my children.
That one's bad.
You know what? My 3-year-old does not need a bite of everything I'm eating. And she's a bitch for asking.
And she learned it from?
Fucking, I don't know. She thinks that everything is hers to share. And I'm just thinking to myself, the arrogance with you. Fucking mother's daughter, for sure. Do you avoid social interactions because you feel you do not look good enough or do not have the proper fitting clothes? No, I don't. Because I, a lot of the time, don't give a shit how I look in my clothes. So I wear ratty t-shirts underneath my overshirts. And the collars look all shitty. Last week, an inmate called me out on that. She's like, you look like you need a new t-shirt. I'm like, well, Miss 20-year-old, that's called living on a budget. You'll find out someday. I will wear this shirt until it resembles rags. And then we'll take a scissors and literally make it into rags. Do you steal other people's food? I plead the fifth.
What I can cop to is that people will leave food in the fridge at work, and I'll sit there and cross my fingers and hope they'll forget about it on their day 6. So on their days off, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that treat is going in my mouth. Like there's 2 Oreos, and yep, they're going in my mouth. Or somebody leaves an apple, and I notice it's there like unattended for 4 days. I'm fucking eating that apple. I might go in the bathroom to do it, to hide the fact that I'm eating it, but yeah, I'm eating it.
Oh, reading my child's candy bucket. Yeah.
Pounding down my parents' food and then taking the wrappers with me when I leave to hide the fact I've consumed anything. They don't know how much candy I've eaten that way. Eating my kids' Halloween candy. Okay, this year not only did I go out with both my girls for 1 round, then I dropped the 3-year-old off and took the 5-year-old back out and went again and filled another bucket. Now, when I got home, that bucket was the bucket that came to my house. The other 2 buckets went to their moms. I sat on the toilet because I had to shit, but I also wanted candy in my mouth. So in an effort to achieve a sublime digestive equilibrium, I ate chocolate bars like a motherfucker while I was taking a shit. By the time I was done, I bet you I went through like 15 or 20 fun-sized candies. And then I wiped. So that was halfway through the event, and I was just mowing down the fucking candy like nobody's business. I have a problem. It's bad.
That's not the only time that I've eaten while I was on the toilet, though. Because there was a night that I came home from working at Menards, and my dad had made dinner, and it was like almost time to go to sleep, but I also hadn't eaten worth of shit while I was at work. So what I did was I took the plate with the pork chop and the broccoli florets and the stovetop stuffing, and I brought it in the bathroom with me. And I set it on the vanity, and I took a shit, side saddle. And I ate the entire damn meal while I was taking a poop. Another instance of reaching digestive equilibrium there. And I'm not proud of myself, but I did it. At least I'm consistent.
Eating my ex's food when she wasn't home. Yeah, when she lived here and she'd come home and bring leftovers, I'd try to sneak a bite or two of, what's the hibachi place she likes to go to?
Osaka.
Yeah, that place. And then it got to the point where after a few times I ate 2 bites, she's like, that's my fucking steak. I'm like, I take 2 bites. She's like, there are only 4 bites left. I'm like, you know what? You got to go there and eat all the fucking delicious food. Fuck you. I stayed home all day with our child and did parenting. Don't act like I don't deserve a few bites. And then so she started doing this. Don't eat me. She'd write it in marker on the outside of the take-home thing.
Is this fucking Alice in Wonderland?
I don't know.
It's supposed to somehow work to keep you out of there?
It didn't. It just made me want to eat it more to spite her. Cunt.
At least you don't do what my ex did. Spend the night, and all of a sudden in the morning you'd wake up, there's a bite out of a pork chop, there'd be a finger swipe out of something else.
Where do you go? Out of what?
What?
Phrasing. Continue.
Be open containers because he sleep eats.
The fuck?
He would
That's
have
weird.
pieces of food shoved in his pocket.
Oh, that's
morning.
awesome.
Yeah.
At least they're in his pockets, not his jail wallet. I'd hate to wake up with like a half a frozen burrito jammed up my ass. What a waste. I don't waste food. Oh, God, wasting food in my house is like a sin. I freak the fuck out. I get angry. I'm like, you are not fucking wasting food. And then who ends up eating the shit? Me. This all started with those fucking kids. And their goddamn...
This is why moms usually weigh so much more and don't lose their baby weight, is because the kids never finish their food, so mom's running by, eating it.
No, that's more of a dad thing.
Oh, no. No.
I feel like it is.
No.
I feel like the mom weight is more stress. Especially if you've had a cesarean.
I wouldn't know.
You didn't have one.
No.
Always being given leftovers at Rick's house. There was a period in time when I'd go over to Rick's when he lived with JC, and they'd be like, hey, we got this in the fridge. Have at it. I didn't even say, hey, I'm hungry, you got anything? They'd be like, hey, there's this.
They just know you'd eat it.
They did like, hey, we got to get rid of that. It became like a joke. How much leftover
You're
shit.
just a human garbage disposal.
That's literally what they started calling me. Free food at work. Okay, so if there's free treats and somebody brings in treats, I have a hard time not eating more than my share of the treats.
Well, I've heard quite a few comments about donuts. There's cake. There's pizza today. Over the last few years.
It happens. There's food. It goes in my mouth. A food addict's social life is affected by intense, obsessive thinking about food. Making eye contact with people and taking an interest in developing friendships or intimate relationships becomes secondary to locating and eating addictive foods. That's not me. Food addicts often hide or steal foods and eat in secret. Well, I already covered that. I squirrel shit away. It happens. And for me, like I said, it's the baked goods. Cookies, yeah, delicious. I'll eat a whole fucking sleeve of something or half a... Chips Ahoy can suck my cock, Nabisco, with your fucking 3 rows of like 8 cookies, and you think you're getting way more than you are. At least with Oreos, you crack it open and there's 3 rows, and if you eat half a row, you're like, okay, that was substantial. I got something out of that. I still feel shitty, but at least there's enough to fill me up until the next time I binge and purge. Muffins, we covered muffins. Pies. Oh, pies. So, I really like pumpkin pie. Hi, Graham. Shout out to Graham of It Radio. He knows about my pumpkin pie thing. And it started years ago, and because Cub would always have leftover pumpkin pies around the holidays, I'd go there and get them on the cheap after work, and I'd end up eating like half of it before I left the lot.
Just like every other.
And then I'd leave it in the car so that I could eat it later and not get caught by my ex. And then when I was done with the pie, at one point...
So did you go by the deli and grab a knife and fork?
No,
you just scooped it out?
No, I always have a butter knife in my backpack and carry a fork or a spoon with me too. No. I have utensils. When you work in a jail, you can't...
That might add to...
What, having the ability to eat?
Yeah.
That's not going to fucking stop me not having a knife and a spoon. I'll grab a handful of pumpkin pie. I carry gloves with me when I'm at work. I just pull out a couple of rubber gloves and just grab a handful and down the hatch. I'm not above it. That fucking pie is going in my mouth. It can fight and kick and scream all it wants, but it's just like sex with Kobe Bryant. It's going to happen.
Oh.
Now, see, shame and being grossed out about rape is the appropriate response. Don't laugh about Kobe fucking that chick in the ass. She didn't want it. Allegedly.
Who does?
That's a whole other show. But play. So one day I get in the car with my oldest, who was my only child at the time, and my ex. We're going somewhere. And I realize that I have 2 or 3 empty pumpkin pie tin/plastic containers hidden in the car. 2 under her seat and 1 under mine. And we're going to the gas station. And I'm just like, please, for the love of Jesus, let her go inside to buy cigarettes. And she did. That was the fastest I ever got rid of food evidence. Oh my God. I threw it away right in the trash can next to the fucking car. And I would do that. I would hide the fucking pie containers after I was done so she wouldn't notice. Also so I didn't have to share. I have a problem. And the first step of getting better is admitting you have a problem. I don't know how I'm going to get to that step where you make amends when I'm supposed to apologize to the bakery and come like, I'm sorry that I have devoured so many of your delicious pies over the years. You fucking enablers. They had to just put my picture up like, do not sell pies to this man. And then the other cub by me sells half pies. And I'm like, well, good. There's a finite amount of pie so I can cut back a little bit. And next thing you know, I'm eating the last bite of a half a strawberry rhubarb pie. I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I got to stop coming to Cub. I still have like healthy food addictions, like vegetables. I will eat a shit ton of. Fruit, I eat a shit ton of. And rotisserie chickens, I will eat till I'm blue in the face.
Yeah.
They're cheap. They're delicious.
Watching you eat them, though, is kind of like watching Fat Bastard and Austin Powers.
I don't get it all over me, though.
That's the only thing I picture.
Just me just...
Because you would devour... You can sit down and devour an entire small family's worth of food in one sitting.
I have a big mouth. And it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain that you're full. Part of it is genetics. My dad's got a fucking sweet tooth, and my mom has always been buying sweets, like, as long as I can remember. So, it's partially her fault for buying all this shit. I tell her, like, I wish you wouldn't buy this shit all the time so you guys would eat healthier. And then, if you didn't have it here, I wouldn't eat it either. She's like, well, no one's making you eat it. I'm like, no one's making you eat it. Yeah, no, my brain's making me eat it, you bitch. You wouldn't leave a giant goddamn rock of meth out at a fucking recovery clinic, would you? Somebody's gonna grab that thing and hot rail that bitch and probably OD right there on the couch. Right before group time. And then the whole fucking scene's gonna go all girl interrupted. So my dad's sweet tooth, God, he will make an entire pan of brownies, like in the afternoon, and then frost it at night once it's cooled. And then he'll have a few once he gets done frosting them and buy a few. I mean, the next morning he'll go to have one and like a row and a half are gone.
I can do that.
Yeah, but I think he does it because his life sucks. Because he's married to my mom, which can't be fun. He tries not to join in on my Linda bashing, but it's like, it's okay. It's okay. As I've said before, she's going to die, and we're going to embrace and weep like at the end of a Holocaust movie.
Oh, God.
It's like, we're free! We're free! And that day will be the first day of the rest of our lives. Don't drink when I'm talking. You know this.
I'm doing just fine.
Yeah, now you're next to expensive electrical equipment. A spit take is not so funny on radio. I'm sure you could. Just take a deep breath. Breathe through your nose. That's right, hold in the laughter. Neil thought I should bring up my history of odd, fat bastard concoctions. I have been known to replace bread in a sandwich with toaster waffles.
Ugh.
And have a peanut butter and jelly on Eggo. I've also been known to have a peanut butter and Cool Whip on Eggo. It's so good. Peanut butter and chocolate pudding sandwiches. Like a snack pack. You put some
That
on.
kind of sounds gross.
It's like you're making a peanut butter cup sandwich. It's so fucking good. So let's go back over these now. I eat in private. I squirrel away food. I hide my eating. A lot. Especially when it's other people's food. I'm not above it. If the apocalypse happens tomorrow, I'm an excellent forager. And I will stockpile the shit out of some free food. I don't care if I have to fucking wrestle the last can of beans out of an 80-year-old man's hands. That son of a bitch has lived a long time. And he is going down. Alright, it's just like Goonies. It's my time! This is my time now! Then I break his hip.
On my bike rides, there was this time I was across the street from like this, I think it's like Huron Elementary in Champlin, and I was riding. I was like, God, I wish I had something to eat. And I looked down, and I passed by a granola bar, still wrapped on the sidewalk. So I picked it up, and I inspected it, and I was like, this motherfucker is still sealed. And some asshole kid dropped it, and now it's going in my mouth. And I ate it. Yeah. And on top of that, this is back when I was working at Target, so I was like 16, 17, and those Otis Spunkmeyer muffins, blueberry, like usual, somebody had eaten the first one and thrown the other two in the trash, and they're in a tray inside of a bag, so they threw them in the trash, and I was like, no fucking way. And my friend Casey's like, dude, I bet you won't eat one. So I picked it out of the trash, and I threw the middle one away, and I ate the one on the end that was the most protected, because it was like right in the top of the trash, and it was a perfectly good, delicious muffin, and I'm not going to fucking waste that shit. No, it went in my mouth, and it was delicious.
And then the eating makes me feel better about myself, but also shittier about myself. So it's just like, I've never done drugs, I've never been drunk, I've never been addicted to anything, except for food. But I totally get it. Like working around addicts, I hear all their stories about their behavior, and I'm just like, God, you know what? You take away meth, and you switch that to muffins of the blueberry streusel crumble-topped variety, and that is me. Or pizza.
Or chicken.
I don't think you can hold rotisserie chickens against me.
When you refuse to share.
I don't refuse to share. Who do I refuse to share with?
Yeah, usually it's a bone waving in somebody's face. With like the last...
Are we talking about sex?
No.
Katie.
No.
Go on.
No, I'm done.
That's it? Bone waving in your face? You fucking said it, not me. I just took the ball and ran with it. It's a good thing that I gave up pop, like back in 2002. Or maybe it was sooner, I don't know. I mean, I gave up the sweet... I think I occasionally would drink a pop and have one of those Mickey's fruit pies out of the vending machine when I worked at Menards. But I didn't start there until 2000.
2001, you were still drinking Faygo.
It was good and it was cheap. Fucking cat. You know what else is a problem? Stouffer's family-size lasagna dinners.
Look how that treated you last time.
But, you know, and there's been 2 instances where I've eaten those and then I ended up ill. Like throwing up ill.
But your family size should feed 8?
No.
6, at least.
3 or 4.
No!
They're talking about Asian child-size portions.
Have
all right?
you seen Asians eat?
I don't really hang out with any Asians. Usually, if I go to the buffet, it's the Asians watching me eat. I'd be like, hey, are you going to have some too? No? Yeah, I would like a refill. It's very kind of you.
Yeah,
They're
during
going-
serving, they all order like 2 meals apiece.
Well, it's because they're thrifty.
They're thrifty, eating steak and shrimp and pasta.
What?
Oh, they spare no expense.
Are we talking about a Gaysian here?
No.
Not even the Gaysian?
No.
I suppose he's like fucking anorexic, isn't he?
No.
Does he eat well?
I have no idea.
Haven't you ever seen him eat?
No, usually when you see a server eat, it's a french fry off somebody else's plate.
Yeah,
Or dead food, which is,
dead food.
it's either a mistake, or it's extra, or somebody got up and walked out and never got their food.
Oh, bitch.
So it's kind of like rats. There's free food and they just surround it.
Only Asians?
No, servers.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we were, focusing on either one group of workers or one race who has been portrayed as rats when they're anthropomorphically.
Scavengers.
That when you watch like Wind of the Willows and shit, and anything where there's like animals acting like people, the Asians are always rats. I don't know why. It's kind of racist.
You talking like Ninja Turtles here? Master Splinter?
That was just ironic that you made that connection. I don't think they went out of their way to be like, Asian people are usually portrayed as rats, so why don't we make the sensei a fucking rat?
And which other cartoon animals are portrayed as Asians?
I'm that fantastic Mr. Fox. There's a couple of rats and mice. I remember, in this game, The Legend of K that I play, like all the Asian invaders are rats. They're all rats. And then gorillas. But the gorillas, I think, are supposed to be black people. Hey, I didn't fucking create the game. So all I can do is report the racism. But I promise you that I will go right now after we're done with this and go write an angry email to the creators of that game who actually made it a long time ago, like 13 years ago. And they won't give a shit because most of them probably don't have jobs there anymore. What else would you like to add about food? You don't have any food issues?
No.
Well, there's
I have
long periods
generic-
of time where you can't eat for some reason. You have no fucking appetite.
Oh, sure. Why not?
I don't ever have that problem.
I've noticed.
If there's a tapeworm inside of me, that thing is fucking huge by now. It's got to be like 8 feet long. Maybe I've got like a pregnant tapeworm inside of me.
Do you know they can lay like 10,000 eggs a day?
A day?
A day.
Well, I shit a lot. We covered that, so I'm probably just pooping their babies away.
Probably.
And they're just like, no, I need to make more babies. I'll show you.
Why don't you go
who
get one of those
shits away.
colonics?
Why would I want to tube up my ass?
Why would you want a tapeworm?
I didn't say I wanted a tapeworm. I said I probably have a tapeworm. But if you wanted to have a tapeworm, it's probably because bikini season is coming up. And I want to look good at the beach. I'm going to put on a Speedo. Fucking straight up banana hammock it all over that man-made lake at the Elm Creek Park Reserve, and all the fucking soccer moms. But, oh, he's got tattoos, and he's kind of got some abs on the top and a little paunchy on the bottom, but look at that fucking Speedo, man. It's like 4 different colors, and it's leopard. The colors would be purple, red, orange, and yellow. Not full rainbow.
That kind of sounds like a Lisa Frank type folder.
No, there's no kittens or unicorns on my Speedo.
Oh no, she had still
It's
the
just
leopard print with multiple colors.
I'm not strapping a trapper keeper to my cock so I can wade into the water. This is a Speedo. Nice try.
She has clothes.
She passed. Tragically. I don't know for real. I'm just saying. She could be dead. I don't fucking know. I mean, she's dead to me. Because I'm
Was she ever alive to you?
I noticed girls had that stuff in elementary school. I was like, I wish they made cool stuff for boys. And then they had those fucking like trapper keepers with like the extreme sport guys drawn all cool. So she inspired that for boys. Somebody was like, hey, we got to get something for boys. We got another segment of the market here. Before we recorded this, said I needed a snack. If that's not indicative of how bad it got. I also admitted that I ate an entire fun-sized bag of Three Musketeers bars over the span of the last 3 days. And I took all the wrappers and put them in the bag and brought them back here so that I wouldn't throw them away in my parents' garbage. Even though they're not going to be home for 3 weeks. There's already an empty chocolate brownie Chips Ahoy with M&M chips bag that, I don't know how many were in there. We'll say 24. At least 18 of them went to me. The other 6 might have gone to the girls. Or it might have only been 4. I don't know.
Maybe.
I wanted to stop eating. I couldn't fucking help myself. It's awful.
Oh, you mean like the night I brought brownies over?
Hey, that was a small pan of brownies, the type of which I've never had, and you made them out of what again?
Black beans and avocados.
Yeah, so it didn't even fill me up like sugar. So I was eating like I was supposed to be satisfying my sugar high, and the more I stuffed in my mouth, the fuller I got, but I didn't get satisfied, so I just kept going and going.
Until you left this little 2x2 square. Give this little 2x2 square to your youngest to share, and not even 5 minutes later, the pan is sitting on the counter.
I have good intentions, however, execution is a whole nother story.
So you attempt to share with her. No wonder she wants a piece of everything you eat.
Well, she doesn't always know that I'm going to share with her. Sometimes I say I'm going to share, and then she's sleeping while I say it. And then, like, before she wakes up, I wake up, and then I'm like, well, I guess this is going in my mouth. That's like my line at work. I see things, I'm like, oh my God, that is going in my mouth right now. Today was Swedish meatballs. And I was so tempted for someone to be like, oh, are you going to go eat some balls? And I honestly would have been like, you watch how fast I get in there and put those delicious Swedish balls in my mouth. It's happening. Like, come back in 5 to 30 seconds and you will see me just shoveling balls in my mouth. I'm fine with the gay food connotation jokes. I'm ripping on myself. Yeah, last weekend there were hot dogs. I had 2. No
Who
bun.
brings in this food?
The food service. You have to feed inmates.
Well, yeah, but
But
I
what?
didn't know you guys got to eat that too.
Well, it's there. We can. If it was a different kind of facility, I might have to pay to eat the meal. Like a month ago, we had hot dogs. Like, we have hot dogs like every 4 weeks on the same day. So last month when we had them, I ate 8 of them. I had 2, and then I had 2 more, and then I had 4 more after that. I felt like shit afterwards.
I wonder why.
But somebody's like, oh, you're pounding down those hot dogs pretty fast. And I'm like, you know what? I'm cutting them right now and taking bites. When you see me grabbing them 2 at a time and just slamming them down my throat without even chewing, then you can make jokes about me. Until then, and I took a bite. And I just looked at him, and he's like really weirded out because he might have thought that I was going to play off his joke. He didn't know I was going to make it so just voraciously homosexual.
The fact that you just stared at him while you took a bite.
That is a great way to fuck with people. If you eat dick-shaped food and you make a gay joke, then you just look at them when you do it. And you're just like, oh, it's good.
Right.
If I was ever going to have an eating contest with a local celebrity, I would want it to be against Sven Sundgaard of Cara Lesbian News.
You like that channel, don't you?
It's all right.
You get quite a few
Shaver.
jokes out of that.
I do. Rena Sargianopoulos needs to come down off her high horse. But Sven, I bet you we'd have an epic hot dog eating contest.
I've heard he's kind of a dick.
Well, he is gay.
But
And he's a very attractive
huge
gay.
dick.
I haven't heard about the size of his penis, but no. Trust me. When
I didn't
you're
say has. I said he is.
right, I was a play on words there.
Yeah.
When you're as successful and attractive as he is at that age, you can be an asshole. And I'm pretty sure he's a top. What do you mean? Why are you making that face? You think he likes to get just straight up ass reamed?
Possibly.
No, not my Blinky. No, he is on top, and if he's a bottom, he's a power bottom. Where he's just got toned, severely muscular ass cheeks, and he controls the flow of action by how much he tenses and unflexes, and the way he arches his back. Sven's in
I'm glad
control
you
if
thought
he's
of that.
taking a dick. When you hear about somebody being gay, you're like, I wonder how gay they are. Are they like singing in the rain gay? Are they like Leon, the restaurant owner on the Roseanne sitcom, gay? Are they like full-blown Freddie Mercury, just grab every dick in sight and let it come all over you to the tune of Bohemian Rhapsody gay?
I know quite a few of those.
Or if you're an inmate, and here's a phrase, gay for stay.
I don't know if I want to know what that means.
You know what gay for stay is? It's pretty self-explanatory.
I
You
don't
get
think I
locked
wanna
up.
think about it.
You get locked up, and you're like, well, I got to satisfy my urges, so I guess I'll be gay. And then as soon as I leave
So
here,
it's just prison gay.
yeah, it's called gay for stay now. So they're just, like a lot of chicks in Shakopee will fucking chow box.
Oh, so this is Orange is the New Black.
This was Orange is the New Black before that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never even watched that show on purpose because I'm not going to have it influence my own show that's up here in my head being written. It's good. It's a good concept. It's about my adventures and misadventures as a correctional officer. And all the food I've eaten while I've worked there. You know that tooth that I'm missing?
Mhm.
I originally cracked that filling eating green beans from the food service. Green beans. There was a pebble. And then I didn't.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then I got it kind of repaired, and then I was eating at Blainebrook, and a fucking popcorn chicken cracked my tooth. And then I had to have it ripped out because it abscessed. It hurt. I had to chew on the right side.
Do you
Interesting.
always chew on your left?
No, I usually even it out. But sticking with the food addiction theme here, after I cracked my tooth, most people would have stopped eating the food that cracked their tooth. I finished the basket of popcorn chicken. And Rick is like, why would you do that? I'm like,
Did you just pull the chunk of tooth out?
No, it was a bunch of chunks of tooth.
So it's like those horrible dreams that you have that...
Kind of. But I told Rick, I'm like, dude, that's my fucking dinner. I'm paying money for it. I'm going to eat it. And you know what the fucking owner, Donnie, did? That cocksucker? They took a report when I asked him why nobody contacted me after 3 weeks. I asked them for the name of their insurance. Like, well, they don't like us to give that out. That motherfucker is like, they'll just say it was probably a bad tooth. Yeah, $348 fucking dollars, Donnie, you crooked son of a bitch, who I have absolutely swear on my children's lives been told by multiple staff of his that he sexually harasses the shit out of them. Suck on that, Donnie from Blainebrook, you bitch.
He would not be the only one.
No, he really was like a rampant sexual harasser. I've witnessed him make comments. I was like, wow, you're the owner? Are you trying to fucking get sued? Have fun, dick toast. Well, I think that's enough making fun of my food addiction. I thought you were actually going to rip into me a lot meaner.
You kind of rip on yourself enough.
That's okay. Pile on. Maybe that's what I need.
Somebody
told
to
you.
just totally rip you apart as I sit and watch you eat.
The last
muffins.
time I got snapped into reality was Matt saying, "Hey, fatty." That was like a come to Jesus moment where I looked down and I was like, "Oh no. Look what I've done. What have I become?"
Really?
I'm squinting like I'm in pain.
You kind of
can't
look like you're
see
just
it.
going to take a shit.
I already did that, so we're good. What about you? Did you take a shit?
No.
No?
No.
You didn't take like a greasy one today?
Nope.
Okay.
A greasy one?
Yeah.
Gross.
So, you can visit the show page at facebook.com/groups/Blumpkin, A-N-D, friends. Blumpkin, B-L-U-M-P-K-I-N. For Blumpkin and Friends, I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin, and I'm a fat bastard.